aboard the flights were returning from the National Development Camp held in coaches Vadim Novov and Yevgenia Shishkova, also known as Genia. Shishkova and Nomov, who were married to each other, won the World Championships in pairs figure skating in 1994, and U.S. media said they had lived in the United States since at least 1998, where they trained young ice skaters.
Today, we are brought together by our sport in a way that we could never have imagined. Tragically, it has been sadly confirmed that figure skaters, family members and their coaches, former world champions, are among the lost in the crash which occurred yesterday evening in Washington, D.C. I would like to share with you the words of ISU President Mr. Jae-Yu Kim, who is on his way to Tallinn and will be here with us tomorrow. Today, the world of figure skating is heartbroken. We share our deepest, most sincere condolences with the families and friends of all those who lost their lives in this terrible crash. To lose so many members of our community in this way brings sadness beyond words. Please join us now in a moment of silence as we think of those who have been lost and their loved ones.
China extended deep condolences over the deadly mid-air collision of a passenger plane and a helicopter near Reagan National Airport in the United States Wednesday night, a Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson said on Friday. The remarks were made in response to a question concerning the U.S. aircraft collision. The spokesperson said China expresses deep condolences over the accident and profound sympathy to the bereaved families, adding that after the incidents, the Chinese Foreign Ministry and the Chinese Embassy in the United States immediately activated an emergency response mechanism. The spokesperson confirmed that 2 Chinese citizens were killed in the incident, and the Chinese side has asked the U.S. side to notify the search and rescue progress the cause of the accident in a timely manner while handled to follow up work properly. The spokesperson also said China will provide necessary assistance to the families of the Chinese victims as they deal with the aftermath. Investigators plan to push forward on Friday with efforts to retrieve the 2 aircrafts involved in a crash in Washington that killed 67 people and raised questions about air safety in the U.S. Capitol. Fresh from recovering the so-called black boxes from the American Airlines plane that crashed into the Potomac River after colliding with an Army Black Hawk helicopter on Wednesday, divers aimed to salvage the aircraft and find additional components on Friday, Washington's fire department said. Photos released by the U.S. Coast Guard on Thursday showed it leading recovery efforts with other emergency crews after the deadliest U.S. air disaster in more than 20 years. Among the crash victims were people from Russia, China, Germany, and the Philippines, including young figure skaters and people from Kansas, the states from which the passenger flight took off. Meanwhile, the National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, announced Thursday night that investigators had recovered the cockpit's voice recorder and flight data recorder from the American Airlines plane involved in the previous day's mid-air collision over the Potomac River near Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. In a social media post, the NTSB said the recorders were sent to its labs for evaluation and shared images of investigators analyzing them. U.S. authorities said on Thursday it was not yet clear why a regional jet and a U.S. Army helicopter collided at a Washington airport, killing 67 people in the deadliest U.S. air disaster in more than 20 years. Friday marks the 5 years since the UK officially left the EU. The European Parliament gave final approval to Britain's divorce from the European Union on January 29, 2020, paving the way for the country to quit the bloc after nearly half a century and delivering a major setback for European integration. After protracted divorce talks, Britain left the club it joined in 1973 at midnight Brussels time on January 31, 2020. in a bid to show up support on the face of the Splits Party and the small but staunchly Eurosceptic UK Independence Party. Former Conservative Prime Minister David Cameron promised on an in-out referendum on a renegotiated deal on membership in the party's 2015 election manifesto. Cameron said he was satisfied that negotiations with the EU gave Britons enough for him to back a Remain vote. But though Britain's biggest parties backed the campaign to stay in, the people voted to leave by 52 to 48% on June 23, 2016. Cameron resigned the morning after the vote and was replaced by Theresa May. Current Prime Minister Keir Starmer has sought to reassess Britain's relationship with the EU, pushing for closer cooperation on the areas such as security and economic challenges. North Koreans paid floral tributes to the statues of founding father Kim II Song and his son, late leader Kim Jong-un, to mark Lunar New Year's Day, state media reported on Friday. In the footage provided by the North officials news agency KCNA, civilians and soldiers could be seen laying flowers at the fleet of the large bronze statues at the daybreak, with some bowing and saluting. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un recently called for a bolstering of the country's nuclear forces during a visit to nuclear weapons institutes, state media reported on Wednesday. Security was beefed up at India's Kumbh Mela on Thursday, a day after dozens died in a stampede at the largest gathering of humanity in the world. Police said 30 people were killed in Wednesday's stampede and 60 were injured. Sources said that death toll was more than 50 and at least 39 bodies in the morgue, but police said not all may have been killed in the stampede. Millions of devout Hindus continued to throng the northern city of Pragyag on Thursday. Train and bus stations in the city saw a surge in crowds as people continued to arrive for the festival, although some devotees remained nervous after the deadly crush. The Kumbh Mela, held every 12 years, is expected to draw more than 400 million devotees in 2025, officials estimate. Meanwhile, a lawmaker from India's opposition Congress party was arrested on Thursday on Congress of rape and assault. News agency ANI reported Rakesh Rathore, who represents the Sitapur constituency in the northern state of Uttar Pradesh in the Indian parliament, was arrested days after a woman accused him of rape and assault. He has denied the charges, but a local court declined to grant him bail, Indian media responded. Police in Uttar Pradesh registered a case against the lawmaker on January 17th after a complaint from a woman who accused Rathore of having sexually assaulted her for 4 years, the Times of India News reported. A spokesperson for the police could not immediately be reached for comment. Tens of thousands of people protested across Germany on Thursday night, January 30, against the Conservatives led by Chancellor hopeful Friedrich Merz for pushing through a bill on tighter immigration control with the help of far-right Alternative for Germany AfD the previous day. In Munich, thousands of people lit the night sky outside the conservative Bavarian headquarters with their mobile phones, while in Berlin, the Alliance Together Against the Right staged a protest outside Merz's CDU offices. Christian Democrat leader Merz, a frontrunner to succeed Olaf Scholz after the February 23rd election, rejected suggestions he had breached a mainstream party's firewall against the AfD, saying his bill was necessary regardless of who chose to back it. Merz intends to present another proposal to Parliament on Friday, which he told supporters in Dresden would reintroduce the words "a limitation of migration" into the law. The AfD, which is polling second in most surveys behind Merz's conservative bloc, is being monitored by German security services on suspicion of right-wing extremism. Panamanian President Jose Raul Mulino ruled out discussing control over the Panama Canal in a meeting with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who is set to visit the Central American country in the first official trip abroad this weekend. Mulino's comments during a weekly press conference come after U.S. President Donald Trump threatens to take control of the canal, claiming it is being operated by China. The Panamanian government strongly denies the accusation. The canal, as an 82-kilometer artificial waterway that connects the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans and is key to global trade flows, is operated by the Panama Canal Authority, an autonomous agency overseen by the Panamanian government. The United States built the canal in the early 20th century and handed control to Panama in 1999, 2 decades after signing a set of treaties guaranteeing its permanent neutrality. But Trump has said that this treaty is being violated, claiming China controls the canal and has soldiers there without offering evidence. He also argues that the United States is being overcharged for transit through the canal. The Olympic movement needs to do more to protect the planet, says IOC presidential candidate Johan Eliask. The Swede, who led sports brands heads and is currently heads up the International Ski and Snowboard Federation, is considered an outsider to replace Thomas Bach, but believes his combination of green and business credentials would stand the IOC in good stead. Speaking in Louisiana, the 62-year-old insisted that the IOC must respond decisively to a number of challenges it will face in the next decade, including how better to deal with the environmental impact of big sports events.
This is a very special position, and yes, sport has the ability to unite people in a magic way, but it also offers hope that anything is possible. And in a divisive and sometimes disrupted world, we need hope more than ever. I think for a job like this, you need to understand business, you need to understand sport, you need to also understand the political issues in depth. Defending our political neutrality is going to be very important going forward. Athletes can't choose where they were born, and they must never be weaponized for political purposes, full stop. I think there are some negotiations coming up here soon. We need to choose what kind of broadcaster we want to be. We need to make sure that the partnerships we offer are really attractive to our sponsors.
The Federal Capital Territory FCT Badminton Association Board has pledged to boost grassroots development of the sports with the organization of tournaments across the area councils of the territory. The chairman of the association, Mohammed Bapa, said this in Abuja when he paid a courtesy visit to the FCT Director of Sports, Luca Estefanus. Bapa said that the association was working round the clock to organize befitting tournaments and discovering new talents with the plans underway aimed at introducing badminton to schools in the FCT. He said that the association would continue to work more closely with the FCT sports departments to develop badminton in the territory. The FCT Director of Sports, Luca Estefanus, appreciated the board for its efforts in developing the sports. Brazil forward Neymar will return to his boyhood club Santos from Saudi Pro League side Al Hilal, he posted on social media. Neymar, 32, joined Al Hilal from Paris Saint-Germain for a reported €90 million in 2023, but he managed only 7 appearances for them after suffering a serious knee injury. Neymar began his career with Santos in 2009, age 17, racking up 136 goals and 64 assists in 225 matches to help the club secure their first Copa Libertadores title in nearly 50 years in 2011. He joined Barcelona in 2013, winning 2 La Liga titles, 3 Copa del Rey trophies, and the 2015 Champions League. Neymar has 128 caps and a record 79 goals for his country, surpassing Pele's tally of 77. He was also part of Brazil's gold medal winning squad at the 2016 Rio Olympic Games and helped them finish runners-up to Argentina in the 2021 Copa America. He moved to PSG from Barca in 2017 for a world record fee of 220 million euros and won 5 French league titles with Capital Club. Sydney will host the 2027 Rugby World Cup final 24 years after England upsets the Wallabies at the Harbour City Stadium, Australia, in the 2003 decider. World Rugby confirmed. Stadium Australia, the 22,000-seat venue which hosted the 2000 Olympics athletics and opening and closing ceremonies, is slated to host the 2027 final and both semi-finals. Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Perth, Adelaide, Newcastle and Townsville are Australia's 7 host cities. The draw is yet to be confirmed. The 2027 World Cup will be the first to feature 24 teams, 4 more than the 2023 tournament in France, which was won by South Africa.
And to have 24 international teams coming to Australia to compete for the William Webb Ellis Trophy and in a different format where there's a round of 16 as well. So the competitiveness across the 6 pools through to the playoff stages adds a real level of intrigue and interest that hasn't happened before. And as the leader of rugby in Australia, we are thrilled to be hosting such a monumental event here around the country in 7 cities.
World Rugby at its core is about building and growing this game globally, making it more accessible and more relevant. 24 teams here at Rugby World Cup 27 is us living to our purpose. 4 more teams to the tournament. We're going to have later this year the announcement of a competition that will enable those teams to get better competition leading into the tournament, and we're so excited about what that will bring for our tournament as well. But equally as important is in those 24 teams to see the rising up of new teams, new countries. We saw that with Fiji, we've seen it with Georgia, we've seen it with Portugal. We absolutely want to see some of those teams penetrate deeply into the final and play a final against the Wallabies.
And that's the news this hour. I'm Charles Pius. Thanks for watching. See you later.
only reasonable pension you can talk about is the federal pension, because if you come down to the state pension and the local government pension, they are always owing those people. There's always backlog. But even with the federal pension, I retired from Nigerian Navy. The way they are being paid is too poor. The pension is too low, and all the contributions people made with PENCOM and defense and stuff is not really being well attributed to them in the way it's supposed to be. Most of them don't have housing. It's not only about paying people pension, you should consider their housing, post housing, after service. Where do those people live? How do they survive? Do they have a farm? Is there any government intervention in helping them alleviate the pains of the current economic hardship? Like now, the government is even dragging to pay 100,000 for the minimum wage, and the pensioners are still receiving low 30,000. That's the basic pension benchmark. Then 30,000 cannot even buy a bag of rice. It cannot fill a tank. It cannot buy you electricity for a month. You know, it's too low. So it's regrettable. And some people that have actually managed the pensions, you know, they have, like Mena and others, they have really squandered people's money, you know, diverted the money, and there's no really money there to pay the pensioners. Because if there was money, there would have been accrued interest in their deposits. So there is nothing like that, and people are suffering. Their money has been squandered or diverted, or one way or the other, they are not being paid their pension.
They should look into it because they are the receiving end. Government employ them when they are young, and when they get old, government will.
Hello and welcome. It's another episode of E-Vibes, the entertainment show on Signature TV. And I'm your baby girl, Queenette Mukunta. Today we have stories, and of course, today is Friday. You know what we give you on Friday? A movie train. Recommended movies that you can watch this weekend, and of course, movies that would be coming up pretty soon. So let's delve into the stories of the day. First, we have gospel artist Jaga Testimony has weighed in on the ongoing controversy surrounding fellow gospel singer Mercy Chinwo, warning against what he described as an attempt to undermine the system of God. In a video message, Testimony warned Easy Concept record label boss Ezekiel Thank God, stating that his action and statements have raised concerns. Ezekiel Thank God and Mercy Chinwo have recently been at the center of public debate over financial dealings related to gospel music performances and alleged rifts within the Christian music industry. Testimony asked Thank God to embrace genuine repentance, stressing that his recent actions were unnecessary. Testimony suggested that the lack of public support from religious leaders and influential figures in the gospel industry was telling. He alleged that Thank God had previously charged pastors and churches exorbitant fees for performances, which may explain why no one is defending him now. How come suddenly nobody is supporting what you are going through? Pastors are not coming out to stand for you. People who matter are silent. We know why. Over the years, you have charged them. You didn't have sympathy for churches, he said. He further warned that any attempt to blackmail the system of God would ultimately fail. Anything that is not of the Lord will always fail, he declared. All right, so we know the whole controversy that has been going on between Easy Concept, the manager, Mercy Chinwo, ex-manager, and of course Mercy Chinwo, that had to make Mercy Chinwo come online to give a video of how toxic her relationship with him and the work she had with him was. How he threatened her, how he extorts money and all that. And thank God he's here saying that people are not supporting him, because obviously that means that's what he has been doing. He charged these pastors, and you know, someone will always think, I thought this is gospel and this is ministry, this is God service and all that. Why are we collecting money? I'm not saying that you cannot charge for concerts like this, but the question is, how much are you charging them? Are you doing this for the love of Christ? Are you doing this because of the love you have for music and the ministry, or you're doing this for some other reason? Because if people are not backing you up in cases like this, which means you've done so many wrong things, and probably they don't even know where to come in to support you. All right, so moving forward, singer Speed Darlington has asked those who are tired of supporting him to get lost. The singer said this a few hours after he parted ways with his lawyer, Stanley Alieke. Alieke had recently taken to his Instagram story to announce his firm, Law Capital, separation from the controversial musician. The separation came a week after the singer was released from prolonged detention by the Nigerian police for allegedly cyberstalking his colleague Burna Boy. Now, reacting in a viral video shared on his Instagram page, the singer told those advising him to back down on his fight with Burna to get lost if they were tired of supporting him. I'm on my way to the studio for more music. My life is my content. Let nobody tell me what to post. If you are tired of supporting, you get lost, and let my God guide me. Support, support. How many of you spend money? I spend my own money, so shut up. Let me do what I want and keep your advice to yourself. I have been there and done that. The fear is not the same. Shading Burna Boy, he captioned the video always singing about police brutality in Nigeria, yet he proceeds to hire police to hold me longer. And this is only what you can say. Leave him and move on. The singer was arrested twice in October and November 2024 after mocking Burna Boy's relationship with embattled American rapper Diddy. He attributed Burna's Grammy Award win in 2021 to the alleged relationship with Diddy. Now, in October 2024, Darlington released the diss track Baby Oye aimed at Burna Boy, Diddy, and it gained popularity on Spotify Nigeria. Since his second release after 2 months in Kuje prison, Darlington has subtly featured his Baby Oye track in all his content. Addressing his fans after his release from detention, Darlington said he went to gather energy and launched back with a banger. I could remember that we all begged Speed Darlington that please don't do something that would cause another problem. We love you. We know you're a controversial music artist, but we love you like that. You can imagine your lawyer is even asking you not to do that and asking you to move on, and you're refusing to, thinking that he doesn't want to support you. How else do you want people to support you? It's very simple. Stay away from him. He's going to stay away from you and just face your career. I mean, yes, most people will be like, they don't understand your music, but most people vibe to your music. It makes them laugh and happy. Your content, your live content on Instagram and other social media make people laugh and happy. So when you're behind bars and there's nobody to do this, what do you want your fans to say? I'm also here begging you. I'm here begging you, please. Do not do something that would ignite another fire for Burna Boy to come arresting you. And we recall that after the second release, Burna Boy came on social and said, this is the last warning. Next time, there's no gonna be mercy. So I think we should use that tongue to counter it. Because right now that your lawyer is no longer backing you up, I don't know what's going to happen. All right. So, former Big Brother Naija housemate Fraud and his wife Chioma have welcomed the second baby girl together. The two-time reality TV star announced the joyous news in an Instagram post where he captioned a video of him holding his two beautiful girls. Double the love, double the joy officially. Hashtag girl dad times 2. My heart is so full. Hashtag blessed. Hashtag dad of girls. Hallelujah. Recall that Fraud's wife Chioma had on August 28, 2024 announced that the couple were expecting their second child in an Instagram post. She shared the good news on her Instagram page alongside photos of her cradling her protruding baby bump. Chioma on her Instagram story expressed her admiration for Fraud, affectionately referring to him as a sharpshooter, as her second pregnancy is coming just a year after the couple welcomed their first child, a baby girl. The couple welcomed their first child while Fraud was making his second appearance on the Big Brother Naija reality TV show, as he participated in the show All Stars Edition. All right, a very big congratulations to Fraud. You could even see the joy and happiness. Imagine his hand filled with his daughters. And we could recall how he wished his first daughter a very big happy birthday on her birthday on his social media, showering her with all the prayers and blessings, with a name he called her Adibunili. And I don't know, I'm just so excited. And now the wife was here on social media again saying he is a sharpshooter. Is it even up to a year? Okay, yeah. It is. It's up to a year. So she calling him a sharpshooter, she know what she's saying, because bro is indeed a sharpshooter. Because it still feels fresh when we saw Fraud in the reality TV show All Stars, and how Biggie had to tell him that his wife had just put to bed. So those memories are still fresh. That's why I'm like, is it even up to a year that the wife gave birth to their first daughter? And here he is again with another baby girl. A big congratulations to him. A family of 3 is now a family of 4. Let's look up to them, maybe giving us like 5, 6, 7, you know. All right, so Hong Kong celebrated the second day of the Lunar New Year with a fireworks display over Victoria Harbour on Thursday. The vibrant fireworks show drew thousands of adults and children to the waterfront, in addition to the 23-minute firework spectacle. The city is celebrating the year of the snake with some other events, including a parade float, a horse race, and a football match, according to the Hong Kong Tourism Board. The government anticipates that approximately 1.43 million mainland tourists will visit the city during the week-long Lunar New Year holiday, which runs from January 28th to February 4th. All right, let's take a look at the video.
New Year. To celebrate this festival, I came to Hong Kong to see this fireworks performance at 8 p.m. tonight. Hong Kong is a beautiful and inclusive city. Its culture and night scenes are very beautiful, and this is the reason why I came over to experience it.
I don't know about Chinese New Year's, just travel, and it's a very surprise for me when I come here. Oh, this is have fireworks because Chinese New Year. Oh my God, this is lucky, I think.
This is the second day.
All right, you see, we are in the 31st of January, and others are just celebrating their new year. I know you'll be like, wow, we are moving over to February and people are just celebrating their new year. You know, calendars are not actually the same. Surprisingly, it's Hong Kong. So let's give it up to them. They have so many occasions to sprout into this 2024, and of course they say it to end on February 2nd. So let's keep our fingers crossed, and of course I will still review it to you. All right, finally from our stories, musician Alnis Morissette and rock singer Rod Stewart took to the stage with another big names like Green Day, Billie Eilish, Lady Gaga, Joni Mitchell, and Jelly Roll at the First Aid Benefit concert on Thursday to raise funds for people affected by deadly wildfires in California this month. Now, according other acts for the fundraising events include Gracie Abrams, Katy Perry, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Sting and Steve Nicks, Dave Matthews, and John Mayer will perform together for the first time. The shows are scheduled for Thursday at the Intel Dome and the Care Forum in Inglewood, just outside of Los Angeles. They will be shown live in select AMC theater and stream on Netflix, Max, Apple TV, Prime Video, Spotify, YouTube, and elsewhere. Audio will be available through iHeartRadio. Part of Los Angeles, the second largest U.S. city and the home of many musicians, were devastated last week by fast-moving wildfires that killed 28 people and destroyed more than 16,000 homes and other structures. So let's take a look at the video.
I mean, yeah, we are Californians, and you know, it's like Los Angeles has been like a second home for us because we're from the Bay Area, and it's, like I said, it's been a second home to us, and so we've made a lot of records here, you know, in Hollywood, in different studios. We've been coming here for 30 years, so it was just really important for us to sort of do our part in a small way to maybe one of the most important gigs I think that we've ever played.
Beautiful. What a room filled with a giant hug energy. A lot of people really want to show up and contribute, you know, and some people don't know how. So it's money, time, care, contributing, whatever you can. Yeah. That there's together, and I think I feel more of a sense of community post-fire than I ever have. So it's less talking about community and coming together in a way we're born to do. We're literally built to connect, and now we're living it. Now we're leaning on each other. A lot of people receiving who'd never known how to receive before. It's amazing to watch stoic people receive love when they don't want to.
All right, so that was a beautiful one. That was a beautiful scene. And of course, they're doing this for, we know what happened in Los Angeles. And this is just, let's say, pay the tribute to loss of life, loss of properties, and all that. Okay, that's all we have for you in the news segment this hour. We'll go on a short break, and when we return, I'm sure you're waiting for this movie train. I have interesting movies. I know you're going to say, why are you reviewing movies that is not out yet? Don't worry, relax, some are out. So just stay tight, stay jiggy, and when I return, I will review these movies to you. So stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching E-Vibes, the entertainment show on Signature TV. This segment is our movie train because, of course, today is Friday and it's the weekend. Some people will be spending their time in the house, cozy on their bed, and some people might be going out. So this particular movie train is for those that would be hugging their pillows in their house. So first on the list, what we have here is something about the bricks. Let me give you some, okay, I'll be a spoiler today. So the return of Nollywood veteran Liz Benson in Bosola Ogunsola's Something About the Bricks marks a significant moment for the Nigerian film industry. Benson, a beloved figure in Nollywood, brings decades of experience and a legacy of memorable performances. Her comeback not only rekindles nostalgia for long-time fans, but also introduces her remarkable talent to a new generation of viewers. This move signals a broader trend of veteran actors re-entering the scene and reaching Nollywood's storyline landscape with seasoned artistry. This is about the Briggs family, the mother, father, and their 4 children. The story centers on their lives, how they live, and the dynamics around each of their relationship. And the cast includes Stan and Zay, Rita Dominic, Kalu Ikago, Arike, Dimples, Iyabojo, Buki Wright. This movie is actually coming out today. It should be out on cinema, actually. It should be on cinema today because, like the earlier said, out on cinema January 31st. And today is 31st. So, if you're home and maybe you're bored, you can go to the cinema to see this movie because you're not going to see it on YouTube. Probably you see it on Netflix. Alright, so let's take a look at the trailer.
Briggs, let's do life together.
Why don't you stay and have lunch with us?
I'm sure he has other plans.
This is a non-relationship relationship, so no need for niceness or all these unnecessary friendly things that you're doing.
Are you this nasty to everyone you see, or is there something about me?
I have a problem with you and the entire male gender. If you've met any member of my family...
I want to meet them.
No, that's not a good idea.
Hey sis, how are you?
Good afternoon, Auntie.
How are you?
This is for holding a woman that is not your wife.
I'm not your husband, you can be talking to anyhow. If you try any rubbish with me, I'm going to deal with you.
How, Richard?
Olumide, come and carry your wife from here. Come and carry your wife. I'm going to have it.
Enough! I will not have you all disgrace me tomorrow. You all would be at your best behavior tomorrow, or else I will disown you.
I can help him, Sophie. I can make him a better person.
Hello. Who is this?
Who calls a married man very early on a Saturday morning? For what? Who is she? I'm asking you a question, Olumide. Answer me, oh. Chooks, I hope Sophie told you that she bedwet till she was 20.
Cynthia!
Next time, make sure you call me to book an appointment before you just show up at my doorstep unannounced.
I'm Chooks Obi.
I have had enough. Go to your room, get your things, and leave my house.
Then that means you have to throw both of us out.
This entire thing, I told you from the start, bad idea.
So God created marriage for man and woman to enjoy themselves. But because of our differences sometimes, the very fabric of love that holds the marriage in place has been torn to pieces.
You're right about your family.
It's true.
Looks interesting, right? I'm not a spoiler, but this movie now, I have a lot to say. First, the choice of cast. Oh my goodness. Second of all, the drama. Wow. These are my reactions. And then, let's talk about their outfits. In fact, the costumier did a wonderful job. I don't. If I go ahead to start talking about the director and picking the cast one after the other, I'm sure they're gonna send me out of the studio because I'm gonna take so much time. So I'm not going to be a spoiler. It's not like I've seen the movie, but I was about predicting the movie. But let me just maintain my steeze and composure. Do yourself good. Go to the cinema and see this movie. All right, up next is Captain America, The Brave New World. Sam finds himself in the middle of an international incident after meeting with President Thaddeus Ross. He must soon discover the reason behind a nefarious global plot before the true mastermind has the entire world seeing red. Now, this particular movie will be released on the 14th of February 2024. I know what's coming to your mind, but relax, okay? Relax. All right, let's take a look at the trailer.
You asked for me. Here I am.
You want to help me?
Is there anything you remember?
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Thaddeus Ross.
Whatever this is, Cap, be careful.
What do we know?
There were 5 shooters. This was a coordinated terrorist attack, sir.
I was a wartime general. Now I'm a wartime president.
Your inner circle's been compromised. Let me fix it.
Watch yourself. You're not Steve Rogers.
You're right.
I'm not.
Wait for it. We're on the brink of war. I can't trust anyone.
Nothing about this feels right. Captain America. You ever ask yourself, who's playing who?
Someone's been pulling the strings on everything.
You're under arrest? I don't want a variable out there that I can't control.
Stop!
Captain America, caught without his wings.
You like to play dress up and blindly execute the state's orders.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
What if this is a trap? You don't even know what this is.
Since when were they red?
You want me? Come and get me!
If you're not a fan of action movie, flee. Stay away. Do not engage. But of course, if you love action movies and you're a fan of Captain America movies, keep your fingers crossed till 14th of February. I know you say I'm doing you longer truth. Sorry, my bad. But you should give me my flowers because at least I'm telling you the movies you should be expecting. Okay, so finally we have Snow White. Beautiful girl Snow White takes refuge in the forest in the house of 7 dwarfs to hide from her stepmother, the wicked queen. The queen is jealous because she wants to be known as the fairest in the land, and Snow White's beauty surpasses her own. Note, this movie will be released on March 21st. Calm down, don't come at me. But yeah, keep your fingers crossed till March 21st. I know you must have seen Snow White animation and all that. You know what Disney is doing right now? I think they're trying to reform our animated cartoons. Those cartoons we do enjoy when we're still tender. I'm trying to reform it to bring it to light using human beings and not animation. Like the way they did what's the movie? Wicked, Wizard of Oz, and Mufasa, the Lion King. Now we even had to reform Avatar, the Last Airbender, and now we have Snow White. So of course, when you see this kind of movies coming back to light in a real form, trust me, it's gonna be interesting. But let's take a look at the trailer.
This was my father's kingdom, a place of fairness. But the Queen changed everything.
Take him away!
Your Majesty,
What did you say?
the people need some kindness.
You know, I really don't remember you being this opinionated. Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all?
Famed is thy beauty, Majesty. But a lovely maiden I now behold.
I look at you, and I just want to be the fairest of them all.
The Queen is evil. You must flee into the woods.
My parents always said this forest was a magical place. Hello? Is there anybody here?
It's a human.
What did you think I was?
Nothing. Ghost.
You'll be safe from the Queen here.
The Queen stole everything from all of us. I'm gonna need your help. It's time to restore our kingdom.
Waiting on a wish, holding out for someday, hoping somehow, some way, there comes a miracle.
Find Snow White.
I close my eyes and see the girl I meant to be.
This is our kingdom, and now we're here to take it back.
You were saying.
I'm sorry, my dear. Did I frighten you?
Magnificent. There's a movie called Maleficent. Don't mind me. I said magnificent. But I think my favorite villain is Maleficent. Yes. She did the job of a villain for me. For me. I'm not saying generally, but she did the work of a villain for me. Other villain and they're good, but if you ask me to pick, I would pick Maleficent. Personally. Alright, so I think this trailer has actually done justice to the whole movie because we've seen Snow White when we were tender, especially the animation part of it. So I don't know how they do these things. How do they even make those little rats, those flowers and all? How do they do it? They keep wowing us. Disney always keep wowing us. And I mean, the creative minds behind this, they need their flowers and accolade. But anyways, let's wait till March 21st until these movies are out. And don't forget, Something About the Bricks is out on cinema today. So of course, if you're bored, go out, get your popcorn, go to the cinema, sit tight and enjoy. And of course, drop in the comment section if I did a good job recommending that movie to you. And keep your fingers crossed for 14th February for Captain America. Like I said before, if you're not a fan of action movie, do not watch. Pass. So that you will come and start telling me I recommended the movie where they're shooting gun and all that, please. And of course, if you're a fan of animation, now they've reformed it. Snow White. Keep your fingers crossed till March. March is not far. It's not far. So keep your fingers crossed till March 21st for these movies. Alright, so we'll go on a short break, and of course when we return, we'll review an interview we had before to you. So sit tight, sit jiggy, and enjoy.
What's it called?
Welcome back. You're still watching E-Vibes, the entertainment show on Signature TV. Of course, this segment, I have an interesting guest. His name is Okudeli Stephen Darlington, aka Onyocha Media. We've had him before, but this time around, we'll be talking about approaches to talent management because, of course, he's a talent manager. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
You're looking good.
Thank you.
I like your top.
Thank you. You're not looking bad yourself.
Thank you. So, quick one, because I know that talent is something that you are born with. You come to the world with talent.
Yeah.
And now we have talent managers. Right? Now talk to us. Walk us through talent management.
Okay. You know, there are different talents.
Okay.
Okay. So, you know, if you are talking about managing the talent, you have talent, but to manage it is another thing. So, talent is something that you are born in within you. Like, you don't know it.
Okay.
Maybe some people know it, some people don't know it.
Okay.
So, but it's only when you are exploring, you are going, then you now see, like,
you actually have a talent.
Yes, and this is where I'm good at. This is what I can do. And the funny thing is that people have many talents.
Okay.
You understand? So just to manage it so that the thing can get you something
in future.
Can get you where you want to go
in life. Okay, so I want to ask now, does it mean that talent managers are like counselors? Can we call them talent counselors? Because like you said, one person can have more than 2 talents. Yeah. Maybe he has a talent of singing, this one has a talent of cooking, and all that and all that. So like you rightly said, talent managers help you to make you get to that point in life where you want to get to.
Yeah.
So can I call talent managers talent counselors? Can I call them counselors?
Okay. Yes. Somehow. So
why did you say so?
Because they are to guide you in the right track.
Okay.
You understand? You know, if you have a talent, there's some places you don't supposed to be. There's some like where you're supposed to be, but how to be in that particular place.
Okay.
There's some people you don't supposed to meet,
okay.
like at the right time. You understand? So there are some people that you're supposed to talk to. So there's some things you don't need to do because of that particular session that you are. So now the manager there is going to make you understand the use of that and how you can be able to, carry yourself, put yourself, so to make you see that potential in that talent. You understand? So that potential there is something, it's a unique thing about that talent. So it makes you get that potential and guide you through.
Okay.
So they are going to be like okay, this is not where you're supposed to go. You understand? Okay, this is how you should talk. You understand? So basically just to guide you in the right
So
path.
they're like guidance and counselors.
Yes, yes.
Nice one. So I want to ask, talent management, or do I say talent manager, is it like an organization? Do you own an organization or it's independent?
It depends.
Okay.
You understand? It depends on how the system you are operating on with, or how you want to operate. So some people has an organization that welcome talent. Like, okay, they want to manage this person. Maybe they discover somebody, they want to manage the person. So some people now go to this person. Like, if you have a talent, you can now go to management, maybe a firm, just to get managed. So if but for me, it's an independent something.
Okay.
That is, if you want.
All right.
You understand? So for me, I just
love to manage people that have talent and all that and all that. Okay, so I want to ask now, what are the strategic importance of a talent manager? What is their importance? Because I can have a talent and I don't want to go with a talent manager. I just want to do my thing. You get? So what's the importance of this talent manager apart from being a counselor, like you said?
Okay, you know, the importance now is that management or manager can help you secure some places.
Like endorsements?
Like endorsements.
Okay.
Like, it can help you get in so many places that you want to go. You understand? So management is now, if you are invited in any place, or if you want to go in any place, that management will first of all go there and know if that place is healthy for you
or not.
You understand? And so, or not. So they will go there and assess the place. So if you even if somebody want to get you to you, they have to first meet the manager. You understand? So that they can discuss to know whether it's something.
Okay, now I want to ask something. Do you get? Now I'm confused because you say they have to meet the manager.
Yes.
Right. You know, music artists have manager.
Yes.
Actors have manager. So content creators have manager. So do we now call them talent manager?
Okay, like it depends on the system the person is operating.
You be saying the system, explain
so
to me.
Because you know, an actor or an actress or artist, music artist can employ manager.
Okay.
You understand? That is different. So now that manager is going to be like, it's an employee. You get can take care of some certain things, maybe financial management, all the welfare.
Oh.
You understand? Okay. So that is another thing. So, but talent management is maybe you catch somebody young from the street. You see this person has talent. Now, why I come?
Let's groom you.
Let me groom you. So, if that one is a different thing.
Okay.
You understand? Then the other people that has manager, you know,
that one is different
too. It's a different.
So now that brings me to my next question here, because you said you see them in the streets, you pick them up and you say, "Come, let me groom you." Do talent managers give trainings?
Is it give training to
those people that have the talent?
Okay. Let's for example now, I'm not a musician.
Okay.
So, but I see a music artist somewhere. So, as a talent manager, okay, I don't know anything about music, but I know how you can get high. You understand? So, what I need to do is that I'll give you the right strategy.
Okay.
You understand? For you to go to go and learn more about music. So it's now my job to get through to those access. Sorry, to get you access to those people that can groom you. You understand? I can book you a studio session. I can get you to a show. I can get you to many places artists should be. You understand? So you just you see.
So does it mean that when this particular person now is going through a phase in life, maybe the emotional part, the psychological part, maybe he or she has gotten to a medium in that particular phase. Let's say an actress has gotten to a medium. She's not yet at the top.
Okay.
So does it mean that if the person wants to give up, maybe he or she wants to give up, that it's becoming stressful? You understand what I mean? Like depression, frustration, and the rest. Does it mean that that person would now come to the talent manager and discuss, like, Ma or sir, this is what I'm facing. I think I don't want to do this thing again. Are they the right people to meet for that decision?
Okay. First of all, if the person was there from the day one, like if the talent manager was there from day one, you understand? So I think they are the right people to meet, because they understand, they understand you better more than any other person around. So the right person to go is your talent manager. So you can express your feeling, why you are depressed, why you want to give up. So now, even if you want to, the person has the best strategy or the best solution to those things. You understand? You feeling bad, you not finding it funny again, or finding it
it's beginning to frustrate you.
Yeah, so
that's just basically what you guys do.
Yes.
All right. So my question now is, what challenges do you face in managing this talent? Because we have so many human beings. There are so many people in the world, crazy, wise, calm, busybodies, and all that. And you know, some people can be.
Yes.
If you want to tell them the truth, or you're trying to put them in the right track, you know how people can be. So can you walk us through the challenges you face when you meet different kind of human beings that has different talents?
Yes, you know, this question is something
striking, right?
Yes, because not everybody that can answer ask you this type of question, because they don't know.
Okay.
You understand? So the thing is that managing human being is another different thing. Like it's difficult. Like it's difficult.
Are we talking about adults or children now? But
in fact, it's even better to manage children. Yes, it's better to manage children, because you can, in this industry, before you can get somebody, like for me now, I can see somebody that has this talent. Okay, I come.
Okay.
But what I would first of all ask the person is, do you want to do this? Yes. So because if you want to do that, that means it's going to be easier for both of us
to work.
Understand, to work. So I cannot, if I tell you to do something, you will not ask me questions, or you cannot say that you don't want to do it, or it is going to be very difficult for you. So managing talent is difficult.
Okay.
So, but you as the manager, you understand, so you are the leader, so you know how to get all those things, because you see that potential
in that person.
So you don't give up on. For me, I don't give up. You understand? So what I do is that I will just calm down, explain. I will explain, and I will talk. I will talk, because that person don't see what he or she has.
You're the one seeing it.
And they would not say. They will just give you an excuse.
Okay.
You understand? Maybe financial distant problem, or getting the skills. They are very shy, something like that. Like they're very shy, or
so you
they
guys
cannot,
sound, you guys are like more like a motivator.
like we do everything. You understand? So because you saw the thing in that person, you understand? So for you to prove yourself, so you have to calm down and follow the person, and you know. So, but some people are very stubborn.
True.
Yes, some people are very stubborn. They will now call the. For me, I will call you today. I will call tomorrow. Next,
You keep calling.
I will keep calling.
Okay.
You understand? Sometimes I even feel like if it is a lady, I will draw you close, just to make sure that we get.
You're on the same page.
Yes. So.
Okay, that was an interesting one on your social media. I have games to play with you. You're good with social media, right? You're good with social media, are you not?
Okay.
So we're going to play social media abbreviations. I'll just ask you 2 questions.
Okay.
So what's the full meaning of TTYL?
TTY.
YL.
YL.
Yes.
Whoa. This is my first time of hearing that. So
are you serious?
Serious.
Take a quick guess.
TTYL. I can't guess so.
So you don't know it?
I don't know it. So.
You just felt your hand. It's talk to you later. Okay, so let me ask you the second one.
Okay.
FAQ.
FAQ. Whoa. Why I try to use abbreviations?
But you're on your social media, you're into media.
Yes, but I don't use those things.
You don't see FAQ on some videos. You don't see it.
FAQ.
Should I help you? Should I help you so you know you got 0? Think about it.
I don't know.
Okay, it's frequently asked question.
Whoa.
You just failed 2 games like this, honestly. Okay, so let's play riddles. Are you good with riddles?
No, I'm not.
So you're not good in any game?
No, I'm not.
Okay, let me ask you the simple one. AKA, what's the meaning of AKA?
AKA? I don't know.
AKA?
I don't know.
Oh my God. You don't know the meaning of AKA?
I don't know.
Also known as?
Oh.
Jesus is Lord. God, this guy. You failed all my games. That's 0/50.
Whoa.
Anyways, thanks for joining us today. I had fun listening to how talent managers work and how they don't and what they take and all that and all that. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having me again.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so the show is a wrap for today. Join us same time tomorrow. It's weekend. Go out. Attend wedding. Attend party. Just go out. Leave the bed. Leave the room. Go out and feel the sun and the fresh air that God has created. Okay? Follow us on all our social media platforms. Click the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to Signature TV. And of course, I remain your baby girl, Queen Smokunta. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Welcome to Signature TV News. I am Barry Kumo Ado. In the headlines, Kenya's violent epidemic. Women trained to fight back. Trump says U.S. could soon put 25% tariffs on all goods from Mexico, Canada. Hungary to block EU-Russia sanctions unless Ukraine gas transit resumes, Orban says. And China extends condolences over U.S. aircraft coalition. Details in a moment. From the young woman brutally murdered and dismembered in a short-term rental apartment to the Olympic runner set on fire by an estranged boyfriend, a surge in violence against women in Kenya has spurred many to prepare themselves to fight back. At least 97 women across Kenya were killed in femicides, intentional killings with a gender-related motivation between August and October of last year, according to police figures. The police did not provide statistics for earlier periods, but according to figures compiled by the Africa Data Hub, collected based on media reports, there were at least 75 femicides in 2023 and 46 in the year before. Activists said the recent upward trend is felt across Kenya's impoverished informal settlements, where women's efforts to protect themselves have taken on fresh urgency. Gender-based violence has long been a major problem in Kenya because of patriarchal views, socioeconomic inequalities. Also spoke about plans to expand the detention facilities at Guantanamo. The Biden administration could potentially be redeployed to assist the border patrol. He also discussed the potential for countries to accept displaced individuals from Gaza, expressing confidence that Egypt and Jordan would cooperate. On the topic of federal workers, Trump reaffirmed his offer to over 2 million employees to resign immediately, stating that replacements will be readily available if needed. Trump also touched on the issue of birthright citizenship, expressing his belief that the Supreme Court would support his position to limit its application.
We may or may not. We're going to make that determination probably tonight on oil. Yeah, because they send us oil, we'll see. It depends on what the price is. If the oil is properly priced, if they treat us properly, which they don't. Look, Mexico and Canada have never been good to us on trade. They've treated us very unfairly on trade. And we will be able to make that up very quickly because we don't need the products that they have. We have all the oil you need. We have all the trees you need, meaning the lumber. We have more than almost anybody in those two categories. In oil, we have more than anybody, and we don't need anybody's trees. We have to free up some of the tree areas that we have. We have great lumber in this country. We have to free them up environmentally, which I can do very quickly. But we don't need what they have. And for us to be subsidizing Canada to the tune of $175 billion a year and subsidizing Mexico to the tune of $250 billion, $300 billion a year, and Mexico is a method of China sending in its product. And with China, I'm also thinking about something because they're sending fentanyl into our country, and because of that, they're causing us hundreds of thousands of deaths. So China is going to end up paying a tariff also for that, and we're in the process of doing that.
Windsor, Ontario, a Canadian border town heavily reliant on cross-border trade with the United States, is bracing for economic fallout as the U.S. President Donald Trump vows to impose a sweeping 25% tariff on Canadian imports starting Saturday. The announcement has sparked widespread concern along the border where the local economy hinges on trade with the United States. Windsor, home to the $6.4 billion Cody Howe International Bridge, currently under construction, is a vital hub for goods crossing the Detroit River. The bridge, set to open later this year, is expected to ease traffic from the nearby Ambassador Bridge, which already carries 10,000 vehicles daily. However, the looming tariffs threaten to overshadow the optimism surrounding the bridge project. Trump has cited Canada's alleged failure to curb illegal migration and drug flows as a reason for the tariffs, though his administration has not ruled out the possibility of excluding oil imports from the measure. Experts in the region are urging both governments to use this moment as an opportunity to strengthen cross-border cooperation. Martha Lele Anderson, Executive Director of a cross-border institute at the University of Windsor, emphasized the need for swift action. Despite the uncertainty, Windsor continues its daily operations, but residents fear that if a trade dispute disrupts traffic across one of the busiest borders in North America, the city's recent economic progress could be reversed.
There's so many good things to be proud of when that bridge is going to be open and operational at the end of this year. But the biggest of all is promoting and enhancing that trade partnership we have with our biggest trading partner and ally, the United States. It's going to have a devastating impact on our local economy here, the likes of which we haven't seen since the Great Recession back in 2008. Frankly, it could be even worse.
Now time to react. The time between having the discussion and could we do something to doing the something, I think has to be shortened. And I think that's what this moment is demonstrating to us, is a call to say, where can we improve for the benefit of both our countries and our communities? And we have to move to try to do that.
The Kremlin on Friday noted a repeat threat by U.S. President Donald Trump to impose tariffs on the BRICS grouping of countries if it created its own currency, but said there were no such plans. Trump Thursday warned of BRICS members countries from replacing the U.S. dollar as a reverse currency by repeating a 100% tariff threat he had made weeks after winning the November presidential elections. But Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said BRICS, of which Russia is a member, was not talking about setting up its own currency, but merely about creating joint investment platforms. Peskov said U.S. experts should brief Trump in more detail about what BRICS is doing. Russian forces are slowly tightening the noose around the eastern Ukrainian city of Petrov, whose main supply lines are under threat 33 years after Moscow invaded its neighbor. While Ukraine is stubbornly defending the city, its encirclement or fall could put Russia in a strong position to mount attacks in several directions and increase pressure on Kyiv. Recent footage from Pskov showed the few remaining civilians walking through the devastated cityscape while artillery explosions loomed nearby. Pasi Pronen, an analyst with a Finland-based Blackbird Group, said the city is no longer an important hub for Ukrainian troops, as Russian troops are within artillery and drone range. Peryonen also said that Ukraine struggled to beat back Russia's small infantry assaults along the Pokrovsk front because it lacks sufficient manpower of its own to comprehensively cover the front lines. Kyiv has faced long-running recruitment and mobilization issues, and last year there was a rise in soldiers deserting and absconding from a depleted, tired force. On Sunday, President Volodymyr Zelensky put one of Ukraine's most senior generals, Land Forces Chief Mikhailo Depaty, in charge of a strategic command that oversees a vast chunk of front line, including Pskov. Rob Lee, a senior fellow at the US-based Foreign Policy Research Institute, called Depaty a highly esteemed leader whose assignment could enhance command control and collaboration among frontline units, persistent issue for Ukraine over the past year.
But as the Russians now have gotten closer and are, let's say, within artillery range of that of Pokrovsk and able to fly FPV drones over the city, it is clear that the city is no longer an important communication hub for the Ukrainians. It can't be used as a logistical center anymore.
The Russian military announced on Thursday that it had made further advances into Ukraine's defenses, where Ukraine said it deterred dozens of Russian offensives in the direction of Pokrovsk in the eastern Ukraine and that of Kursk in western Russia, according to the latest updates in the conflict. Russian Ministry of Defense reported that the Russian military had launched attacks on Ukrainian soldiers and military equipment, made further advances into Ukrainian defenses, and took advantageous positions. The Russian air defense system shot down 61 Ukrainian drones. The General Staff of Ukrainian Armed Forces reported that on Thursday, its forces had engaged in 85 battles on the front line, repelling 33 Russian attacks in the direction of Pokrovsk and 7 attacks in the direction of Kursk. Chief of Russian General Staff Valery Gerasimov visited the command post of a group of forces Vostok East, fighting eastern Ukraine, and met soldiers taking part Russia calls a special military operation in Ukraine, Russian Defense Ministry said on Friday. In a video released by the ministry, Gerasimov is seen talking to military commanders and awarding personnel with medals. Ministry in written statement said Gerasimov thanked the troops for taking over the settlements of Velikano-Fislika and Vremivka in the Donetsk region. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban threatened on Friday to block the next rollover of EU sanctions against Russia unless Brussels helps achieve a restart of Russian gas transit via Ukraine, which was halted on January 1. Orban told State Radio that Ukraine's move to halt Russian gas transit to Central Europe and the result to rise in prices was unacceptable. Orban also said that if gas flows did not restart, Hungary will veto the next rollover of sanctions the European Union has imposed on Russia over the war.
That Ukraine is not willing to let Russian gas through its territory so that it could reach Central Europe, and with this it raises the price of gas that leads to price rises of everything, even fuel. This is unacceptable. Therefore, we had no other choice but to say very seriously and strictly that if they do not change, that then we will scrap the sanctions. One country can do that. The situation is every half year there has to be a decision about the sanctions. And if they do not deliver, we will not only raise the scrapping of the sanctions, but we will scrap them. If the EU Executive Commission does not deliver on what we agreed on, then sanctions will be over. We had to fight in Brussels for those guarantees that say that the sanctions will not endanger the Hungarian energy security and the sanctions will not lead to further rise of energy prices that the Hungarian people will have to pay for. And we ask for guarantees for this. Among others, the Commission has promised to sort out that the Ukrainians restart the Russian gas transit.
Russian gas exports via pipelines running through Ukraine came to a halt when a transit deal expired. Kiev refused to negotiate a new transit deal as its war against Russia's invasion approaches the end of a third year. The EU on Monday renewed its sanctions after Hungary stopped blocking a renewal in return for a declaration on energy security. The Commission said it was ready to continue discussions with Ukraine on the supply to Europe through the gas pipeline system in Ukraine, in line with Ukraine's international obligations. In that context, the Commission is ready to associate Hungary in the process, along with Slovakia. The sanctions require unanimous approval from EU member states every 6 months to be renewed. Friday marks 5 years since the UK officially left the EU. The European Parliament gave final approval to Britain's divorce from the European Union on January 29, 2020, paving the way for the country to quit the bloc after nearly half a century and delivering a major setback for European integration. After protracted divorce talks between lefts, Britain left the club it joined in 1973 at midnight Brussels time on January 31, 2020. In a bid to show up support on the face of a split party and a small but staunchly Eurosceptic UK Independence Party, UKIP, former Conservative Prime Minister David Cameron promised an in-out referendum or a renegotiated deal on membership in the party's 2015 election manifesto. Cameron said he was satisfied that negotiations with the EU gave Britain enough for him to back a Remain vote. But though Britain's biggest parties backed the campaign to stay in, the people voted to leave by 52 to 48%, on June 23, 2016. Cameron resigned the morning after the vote and was replaced by Theresa May. Current Prime Minister Keir Starmer has sought to reset to Britain's relationship with the EU, pushing for closer cooperation in areas such as